Hello, my friends. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. I am excited because I think I found my perfect summertime makeup. Now, of course, a lot of days in the summertime, there's no makeup at all going on. But when I need to put makeup on and I want to look a little younger than I am, which is always, I think I found what I love. So if you're interested in how I got this look and what products I'm using, stay with me because we're going to start right now. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. We're going to, as I said in my introduction, talk about what I've chosen for my summer makeup. And I think it's kind of fun to do something a little bit different for summer, especially here in Texas where I live. It's hot, it's sweaty. I have to be careful about eyeshadow creasing. I don't want too many layers of product on my skin because I don't want it to feel heavy. I want it to feel like there's nothing there and my skin is just naked. So that's what we're gonna do today. Now I am gonna use my Tatcha primer just on my spot. You know, I have this spot I always have to cover up because I've got some massive pores going on there. Probably should get that checked out, right? Let me see, let's fill this up. See, they're so big I have to like press it into my skin like that. It's probably not a good thing. If I get really close, do you see white dots? A little bit. You can see a little bit of white dots there. Those are the pores that I have to fill up every single day. It's like, I don't know, it's like filling in a volcano. I did say I'm going to give you dupes for these products because some of the products I use for my summer makeup are going to be quite pricey. So I want to give you an option. If you like the idea of lightening up, if you like the idea of what I'm doing here, I will put on the screen duplicates so you can have a choice of using what I'm using or using something a little bit less expensive. The first thing I'm going to start with is my foundation, and I am using the Natasha Denona, what is she calling this? This is a Transformat foundation. I have talked about this before in one of my reviews. It's very lightweight. It actually is very matte, and it stays nicely on my skin, and I can use it as my concealer, which is really kind of cool. So that's one less product. But I love this because during my day, it just stays as matte as can be without making me look dried out. So that's really important to me. So I don't want it to be so matte that my skin looks all flaky and dry. I just don't want it to look oily either from the summer. So let me take a look in my close mirror and see what's going on. Make sure I have it blended. And I'm using my fingers again because I'm lightening up on product. I don't want to use a million things. I will break out some brushes for some of the other products, but I want to use my fingers to put my lightweight foundation on because I want to control exactly where it is and I want to see what my skin actually feels like when I put it on. It's a good thing. Okay, so that's on, and because it's a matte foundation, I want to let it set for a minute. So while that is setting, I'm going to go off camera for a second and do my brows. Those are going to be exactly the same as I always do. My brows are done, and somebody yesterday told me that I have been leaving my eyebrows a little too light. So what I did, I was just playing around. I didn't really expect it to work, but I found this Benefit brow gel that's a magenta color, which sounds really creepy and scary, but it isn't. So I was just playing with it and I threw a little bit of that over top and it worked really well. It doesn't really make them magenta or purple. It just adds a little bit of depth of color. So it makes them look kind of nice, just a teeny bit darker. So what I'm going to do now is I took a tiny bit more of my Natasha Denona foundation and I'm going to use this because I want a little bit more coverage around my eyes. So let's do that real fast. Put that in there. There we go. I just needed to get that inside corner. You know, so many people miss that corner when they're doing their concealer, and that's really the darkest area. So you want to lighten that up. Okay, so the concealer is all set now, and I'm going to set my foundation just a little wee bit, just in specific areas where I know I'm going to get oily. And I've got my Charlotte Tilbury powder, and I'm using my Jaclyn Hill brushes today. I just bought them because I felt kind of bad for her because she's getting so much bad publicity because of her lipsticks. And yes, quality control should have been a little bit better before they were released. And honestly, she probably was told that they were perfect by whoever is creating them for her. So yes, it's her brand. Yes, she's responsible for it, but I really kind of feel bad. I don't like when people get attacked on YouTube at all. You will never, ever in a million years see me doing that. But let's get back to the makeup. I'm gonna set my concealer with my Charlotte Tilbury powder with my Jaclyn Hill gigantic brush. Small one would be easier, but I had this one in my hand, so that's why I'm doing it. Remember, we're keeping things simple. And then I'm going to do a little on my nose and down here sort of T-zone area because this is where I will get oily today. Foundation is set, concealer is set. I am good to go on the base products. So what I want to do now is I'm going to use my eyeliner, and I am still going to use my Marc Jacobs Ride or Die Rococo eyeliner because that is waterproof and it's going to stay in place for me all day. So let's get some eyeliner on. So I know you can't tell right now, but I am using less eyeliner than I normally do. So let's get that blended. Let me see, little brush, another little Jacqueline brush. I never did buy her Jaclyn Hill lipsticks like everyone else did. I tried, but they were sold out by the time I got online to order them, and they never came back in stock. So I didn't have the drama that other people are having. I really hope she gets it squared away though, because there were some colors in her collection that just looked amazing to me, and I really, really wanted to get them. So my eyeliner is on. I used less. I did get the inner rim like I always do because I still want to look like myself. So let's talk about eyeshadow real quick. I'm going to use no eyeshadow this summer. Yay, there's so many palettes out. I probably will find myself using some, but on a regular basis when I'm not filming, I don't want to use a bunch of eyeshadow. So what I'm going to use, I'm very excited about. This is from Fenty Beauty, and it is the, what's Diamond Bomb? Oh, it's the Diamond Bomb, and it's called How Many Carats, and I'm going to show it to you. Looks like this, right? How Many Carats, it says on the back, if you can see that, and then inside of it is this almost jelly-like highlighter that it's really meant to be a highlighter, but I tried it the other day and I absolutely fell in love with it. So I am going to use this as my eyeshadow this summer, and it's so pretty. I can't wait to show you. Can I please find a brush? So many brushes, Jacqueline has so many brushes. Here we go. Got one, here we go. So let's do this. I'm gonna take a whole bunch of it on my brush. I'm gonna be very, very, very generous with it, because I love it. It is the prettiest, sparkliest thing you'll ever put on your face. And let's do this. I'll pull the camera in closer in just a sec so you can see exactly how this looks, but it is just the most beautiful sparkle on my eyelid. I am also going to cover up some of my eyeliner and leave it that way because, again, we're lightening up for summer. Since I'm using way less eyeshadow than I normally do, I don't want my eyeliner to look too intense, so I'm going to cover some of it up with this sparkly stuff, and it's going to look really pretty. Ooh, love it. Let me see, I'm just going to move myself in closer. Look, can you see how sparkly that is? Look at that, so, so pretty and light and fresh and nice. And I am going to take my little pencil brush, and I'm going to do a little on the bottom as well. Because ladies, if we're going to sparkle, let's sparkle. You make the choice to sparkle, just do it. It all washes off. It's not a tattoo, it's easy. And again, I wanted to lighten up some of my eyeliner on the bottom as well. Yeah, that's pretty, 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 pretty. Add a little bit more just on my lid, so we're definitely seeing some sparkle there, because I don't want to look like I don't have any eyeshadow on. I just want to look like I chose something light. So that is that for now. I am also going to use that as my highlighter on my face when I get to that point, but for right now, it's just about the eyes. So I'm going to do my mascara now, so you can see what that's going to look like when it's done. So I'm going to go off camera and do that. Give me just a second. My mascara is on, and I do want to talk to you for a minute about mascara. First of all, it looks pretty nice, right? It looks really good. Now, I am not using waterproof mascara right now because I'm always afraid I'm not going to be able to get it off, and I'm going to get little pieces of it in my eyes and blah, blah, blah. I just don't like waterproof mascara. So here's what I choose to use. Now, this involves a whole lot of crazy, but It's a Trish McEvoy mascara called High Volume Mascara. It actually is very low volume mascara actually, but once you get it on, it's very, very pretty. And the wand is really tiny and you can get really close to the base of your lashes. The bad news with it is I have to do about 6 coats to get this look. So it's going on very, very light for me. I don't get the volume I want, but for summer I will use it because I love the way it looks once it's on. Also, you know how when you wear a mascara that's not waterproof and you splash water on your face to wash your face or whatever, and the mascara sort of melts down and runs down your face like black soup, right? This doesn't do that. This actually softens, so you can just pull the mascara off like tubes. And I know people are familiar with tube mascaras, but Trish McEvoy is really one of the best ones I've ever used. Even the MAC one that I use it on the bottom because it doesn't smear other parts of the ear. But even though it's a tubing mascara, I still get some of that soup running down my face from it. So the Trish will never ever give you any kind of black goop on your face. It just pulls right off. If I happen to take a couple of my grandchildren to the swimming pool, which I try to do once a week or so, I don't have to look like a crazy person with the black soup running down my face if I choose to go into the water, which usually I don't. And back to the mascara for just a second, I found a tool I think you will really love if you get your hands on it. It's actually a Smashbox brush, and they call this an eyeshadow paddle brush. See, this is that silicone, like they were doing the silicone sponges, not Smashbox, but companies were doing the silicone sponges for putting your makeup on, and of course everyone hated them. But I found a great use for this. When you're putting your mascara on and you get the little dots of mascara on your eye, this silicone paddle just kind of takes it right off. See that? Takes it right off without ruining your eyeshadow, without taking off all of your eyeshadow. It gets rid of all those little black specks. So I love that. So that's a cool thing you might want to grab if you have an issue of your mascara getting everywhere. The next thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of blush on because I do look very, very pale. And I'm going to use my Jaclyn blush brush. It's the angled one. See that? And I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury blush in First Love, because if you look at that color, see how it's very beigey, it's very, very light. And I want that. I want it to look almost like a, not quite a bronzer, but something really light like that. So let's get this on here. And I know I won't get a tan this summer because I just don't do that. You know, if I use a little bit of self-tanner, I'll use a little more bronzer on my face, but I generally stay pretty fair, which has probably been a good thing, taking care of my skin all these years. Okay, after that, I'm gonna grab my gigantic brush from Jaclyn. I wondered what I was gonna use this for. It actually is quite nice for bronzer, and I'm gonna use my Marc Jacobs Tantastic Bronzer. I'm gonna just do here like I always do, because even though it's summer and I wanna go light, I am going to work today, so I have to still look good. Too much on my nose, maybe. Okay. A little bit of color. Yeah, why not? So that's my look. I'm going to take my Jeffree Star Liquid Velour lipstick, which I love. This is my favorite one. I have about 8 of these. I just really love them. And because they dry down. I don't like a lip gloss or a lipstick that feels wet and creamy on your lips. I know I'm a freak. Everyone else loves that. I hate it. So I'm gonna use this. It's very light and very soft, and this is sort of for someone like me who would just in the summer wear a chapstick or wear just a clear lip gloss because they don't want a lot on their lips. I like the shimmer, I like the shine, you know that about me, so I'm gonna use this because it's gonna give me a little bit of shimmer and shine and look like I'm wearing sort of just clear on my lips, which I like. That looks kind of pretty, doesn't it? Do you like it? Oh, pretty. Let me do a tiny bit of highlighter. Where's my brush for that? I'm gonna use this brush. My little Jackie brush, back to my Fenty highlighter. Do a little here. Now this particular highlight doesn't give you that sheen. You know how sometimes you swatch something on your skin and it almost looks like a big old thing of frosted eyeshadow. This is not that type of highlighter. This is more a sparkly points of light type of highlighter, which I really love. A little here. Upper lip in the middle, and I think I'm good to go. So I really honestly doesn't feel like I've got a thing on my face, and I have done this for a few days now, so this is not my first try. I think it looks really pretty when I look in the mirror. See the sparkly eyeshadow? My skin looks really nice, looks pretty flawless. That Natasha Denona foundation really is wonderful if you want a matte look from your skin. Now, I know there are people that are gonna say, I can't do matte, my skin's too dry. And what I will say to you about that is, oh yeah, you can. Now, here's my philosophy on foundations and skincare and all that kind of stuff. And I learned this from Chanel a million years ago. You choose your foundation based on the look that you want. Now, I personally, at this moment, going into summer, I want a matte look. I don't wanna look oily, I don't wanna look dewy, I don't wanna look shiny. That's me. I'm gonna treat my skin with the proper skincare. So if you're using the right skincare products that are rich enough for you or light enough for you or whatever it is that your skin is doing, you will be able to put any foundation on that you want. You'll choose it by the look, not by the condition of your skin. And on that note, I think I'm gonna say goodbye because I wanna go outside, I wanna get some fresh air, and I gotta get to work. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Share it with somebody who you think wears too much makeup and say, here's a way that you can lighten up a little bit. And share it with anybody who wants a nice new look. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.